All right, let's talk about Bruce Lee. That's not Bruce Lee. This is Bruce Lee. Now, really, that's just Bruce Lee in a movie. Bruce Lee as a person was much more than just flying fists and badassery. He was on a path to be an integrated man. He was on the path to become a whole person. He was a thinker. He had heart, and he was connected to something that was much bigger than himself, his ability to be rich and famous. When it comes to the mind, Bruce's mindset wasn't one that was locked in dogma or locked in convention. He would zoom out and take multiple perspectives. He would look at different things, whether it was Zen Buddhism or Taoism or different styles of martial arts, and he was always zooming out, trying to find what was the best and most useful aspects of each to come up with his own. And this was a bold way of thinking, because most people just want to find one way of doing things and get really good at that one thing. But his approach was to zoom out and forge his own path based on his own experience. He was trying things from different disciplines and coming up with his own way. Instead of saying, how can I do this thing the right way? He was always saying, what's the best way? What are the best tools that I can learn from each to forge my own path? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And he took this worldview beyond philosophy. He took this worldview beyond martial arts. He said, I'm a man who never follows these formulas of the fearmongers. So no matter if your color is black, white, red, or blue, I can still make friends with you without any barrier. You still with me?
Yeah.
Bruce was a thinker, but he also had heart. Instead of promoting this facade, this archetype of being a man that's impenetrable, like an impenetrable fortress, he actually was in touch with his emotional world. He saw the value of having an emotional world. He wrote, sorrows are our best educator. A man can see further through a tear than a telescope. Now, the fearful man, the posturing man, is going to wall himself off from these experiences. He's going to do whatever he can to put a barrier between himself and these types of experiences. But Bruce is saying, no, this is where we become stronger. This is where we learn more when we allow ourselves to have these experiences, to open ourselves up to our emotional world. Make sense?
Yeah.
And another thing that I really appreciate about Bruce was that he was connected to something much larger than himself. He was connected to the divine. He even wrote poetry about it. He said, for a moment, the surrounding utters no sound. Time ceases. The paradise of dreams come true. Now, are you going to call Bruce Lee a new age wuss for talking about sorrow, for talking about having an emotional world, for talking about his connection to the divine? I didn't think so. So I love that Bruce is gaining so much attention years after his death. I love that there's still so much focus on this guy, and he's still having an impact today. But the thing that I want to draw attention to is his thinking, the way that he approached thinking, the way that he approached learning. I want to draw attention to the fact that the guy had heart, that he wasn't just some kind of man that had concrete in his chest. He actually had an emotional world. And I want to draw attention to the fact that there was something in his life other than just beating others or being better than others or being successful or being famous. That's what I call being a badass.
Yeah.